Lincoln here from the Family Training Institute, FamilyFamily.com, where we provide mentoring for strong individuals to become strong families. Thank you for purchasing this Goalpost Business Scouting course. In about an hour, we will walk you through a number of elements in helping you to find a good business for your family. We start from your gift, we end with your legacy, and we also go a little bit into our POSTT business scouting tool, which starts with identifying a problem and ends with timelines and targets. We do hope that this will give you adequate information to start a family business or to refine a current business that you are embarking on. Family businesses are important. In the United States of America, I believe this is from the Census Bureau, records that about 90% of businesses are family owned. These are not just your corner shop kind of businesses or your family, your corner business. This includes Fortune 500 businesses as well. The American economy runs on the backbone of family businesses. We are targeting persons who have not yet started a business, but we understand that there are a lot of fears that are involved. We want to help you to understand your strengths as a family, as individuals in a family, and how to fashion that into a good business concept. So there are a number of issues about family business, and the main issue is fear. As a family, you want to have a family that leaves a heritage behind. It is very, very difficult to have family members that have just come and gone and no one remembers what mark they left on the community. When we look at a number of businesses, we can remember Ford, we can remember Mercedes-Benz. These are all businesses that started out of a kind of family heritage. We see that these families overcame a fear of failure. The families had to deal with the challenge of scarce family resources, and looking at the business, the discipline of a business, which is a very complex set of interactions between buyers and sellers, between labor and management. This is a very, very complex business, a very complex discipline of moving from an idea, creating a product or a service, pricing it in the right way, finding customers, delivering the value, whether it is a good or service, to the customer in an affordable way that still meets the customer's expectations. And going through this process is a complex one, and it can be expensive to prepare a business plan, a business playbook. So how do we find a good business? That is the question. How do we put all of the pieces together as a family, a small family, with very scarce resources, very little time, a very complex set of relationships in the family where people have seen you in a vulnerable way? How do we put all these factors together into a successful business? That is often the challenge that we want to encourage you to accept. At FAMT, we believe that we have a very simple and useful approach to help you to address the issue of fear in starting a family business. It's what we call the GOAL, and we do have another section called the goal and post system. We're going to focus more on the goal system today. It's a simple approach to help families to formulate and execute a business idea. The G is short for gift. What do you do well? O, objective. We're going to go a little bit more into that. A, your ambition. And L, your legacy. Putting these together can give you the nucleus or the seed or the engine for a great family business. In determining your family's business proposal, we can know what drives people. Late American psychologist Professor Clayton Alderfer made this ERG theory. You'll see the diagram in the slide. Theory of needs and motivations popular. Doing this assesses the market demand for your gift and can indicate the strength of the business opportunity. Usually there is a bigger market for physiological needs, as these are basic needs for survival, example, bread and butter needs. However, there is usually a slimmer profit margin in these opportunities. Normally, a lot of people are already in these areas despite them being less what they call cyclical, rising and falling with market conditions. The self-actualization needs, which are at the top of the pyramid, usually have a smaller market size. However, people are usually willing to pay a higher, what we call reservation price, the highest price for a certain quantity demanded in these particular markets. They, however, are usually the first to be cut in hard times. What we call these are more cyclical. The self-actualization type of needs are usually first to be cut in hard times. These can include your art, any type of art purchases, church and tithes, golf club membership, gym memberships. So in looking at the drivers or the types of business opportunities, you can know where along the pyramid you want, if you want to be more along the basic needs that are at the base of the pyramid, food and drink, clothing, etc. Or you want to be talking about self-actualization needs that are driven by someone's status in the society. So let's identify your gift. Gift refers to what you do well, what people always say you stand out for, what you are distinguished in. So this exercise 1, we want to make a list of 3 things, no more than 3 things that people say we do well and we stand out with. How we do this, we can contact those close to us and we can run a list that we make by them, or we can ask them for an open-ended list to say, okay, you've known me for 10 years, 15 years, we've been family members or colleagues together at work, etc. What is it that you see me stand out with? And person will say, well, you are not very punctual, but you get things done within a certain time frame, or you don't come to work on time, but when you're given a task, you finish that task on time. So you might be more task-oriented, or you are a very good people person, even though your technical skills aren't that good. So people can often give you a good balance of what you're good with, what you might not be that good with. So in gift, you want to identify what you stand out for, what you do well, and you don't want to just think this up yourself. Even if you do come up with a list of 3 things yourself, you want to run those through people, but you sometimes want to give people an open-ended answer, an open-ended way to respond, so that you're not kind of shepherding them in a certain direction. On the objective, here we want to identify what we want to accomplish for ourselves. What is your short-term, personal, self-conscious mission? What do you want to accomplish or achieve for you? This is a very ticklish topic for many, because on the issue of your self-conscious nature, on the nature of your objective, there is a notion in Christendom that carnal or material desire is a sin. We should not be driven by the flesh. We should not give in to the lust of the flesh, etc. Many people say money or materialism is the root of all evil. However, in 1 Timothy 6 verse 10, which is the biblical anchor for that, a lot of where people get that from, that materialism is bad, where material is the love of material things. The love of money is the root of all evil, and that has to be true. In 1 Timothy 6 verse 10, Paul was teaching his protege Timothy that many believers who have been driven by money and material things have wandered away from their faith. As a leader, pastor in, I think Timothy was a leader or pastor in the church in Ephesus, an ancient town where we get the book Ephesians from in the Bible. Paul was encouraging Timothy to not give in to what was called avarice, or to be somebody who is money hungry, because then you're not able to be a good pastor or a good believer if you are driven by money. There's nothing wrong with money or material things, as Jesus taught that we should master material things as a sign of our spiritual mastery. I believe that's in Luke 16 verse 11. Christ often used money and material things to serve people. Example, he paid taxes for himself and his disciples using money that was somehow magically collected through a fish, the mouth of a fish. He turned water to wine at a wedding in Canaan. He fed people with a little boy's lunch. Pursuing your material desires and self-conscious objectives is important in your service to God and the community. And this question of your objective puts you face to face with whether you know what you want. Often, many of us do not know what we want. We haven't spent time with ourselves. We're not self-conscious. There's nothing wrong with being self-conscious. There's something wrong with being self-centered, which is where you become a narcissist. Or that's one of the features of narcissism, where you become self-conscious, self-centered, where your world revolves around you and not around God and loving people. So this question of objective, now we want to get over that heresy or that delusion that we should not have a material objective in our lives. We're here to live on earth as material people who have bodies, we have needs, we have desires. And what this question of objective puts us face to face with is, do we know what we want? Are we self-conscious? Are we in touch with our own selves, our physical selves, to know what short-term goal we want to achieve, what personal goal we want? We're not doing this for our family, for friends, for our children. We're doing something for ourselves. We want to achieve something for ourselves. We want to be self-conscious. We want to have a desire and a passion to promote our own mission. A lot of us don't know what our own mission in life is, what our own mission statement, what we want to achieve for ourselves. So in exercise 2, we ask ourselves this question: what do you want to do or accomplish for yourself? Now that we know what we're gifted at, we have our objectives, we have now to look at more than what is in our short-term self-interest or individualistic interest in the immediate term. We are under ambition asking you, what is the wider medium-term ambition that you have? What is a wider selfless or less self-driven desire that you have that's supported by your gift and also supported by the objective that you want to achieve? The importance here will become clearer as we put all of these things together. We know, especially as kingdom people, those who believe in Jesus Christ, that we are to deny ourselves, take up our cross daily, and follow Jesus. It doesn't mean that we should not know ourselves, but that now, where we come face to face with our own self-consciousness and our dreams and our goals, we are able to use those self-centered goals, self-centered objectives to serve other people. I believe that's where exercise 3 is taking us, to look at what is the wider medium term objective. Yes, you're not just looking at what can serve you now, but in the next 5 years, what can you do? How can you serve people in the next 5 years or 3 to 5 years with something that you initially started out to do for yourself? In exercise 4, we want to now look at your legacy. What is the fingerprint or the footprint that you will leave for another generation to continue? We understand the concept of life. We understand that we're not going to be here physically we're only here physically for a short period of time, a short duration of time. And in life, those of us who believe in the scriptures, we understand that the Jewish nation, especially when we go back to the start of that nation with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Abraham was given a kind of contract that with his God, with his deity, Yahweh, that saw him being getting land, getting offspring, or getting physical children, but also that his family is to be a blessing to other nations. They are to improve the welfare of those around them. And this has been a legacy that the Jewish nation has. The Jewish nation is blessed with prosperity, and yes, they do go through a lot of struggle and suffering. But at the same time, if you hang around with Hebrew people, with Jewish people, you'll see that they're blessed. And the people around them are blessed. Those who bless them are blessed. Those who curse them are cursed, as the scriptures say. So they have a legacy of a blessing. Now, what? Meaning that they bless from one generation to the next. And that's something that's very hard. We who are of African descent, we have a difficult time passing on blessing from one generation to the next. And this is so for many other what are called minorities. So the legacy question is, what do we want to leave behind for those following us? And it ties into the issue of, do you have a mission for your family? Are you able to get your family to, or those around you to sort of align themselves with your goals, with your objectives, with what you want to achieve? And do you have a dream or a goal that is big enough to sort of suck your family into it? Some of us are only dreaming to have a shop on the corner. Some of us only want to have a house or a car. But in terms of your legacy, do you have something that can draw the next generations into it? Because we are only going to be here for a short duration of time. And we're looking at, how can your business be the next Mercedes-Benz? How can it be something like Dangote's empire in Nigeria, I believe, that you can now pass on a dream, not just a business, but a goal, a mission to the next generation. So now we have the ingredients to make this cake. For those who are bakers, we can put in exercise 5 all of the various pieces of the GOAL methodology together. And we can look at this in a hypothetical way for this person, let's say Veronica. She has a gift, she is excellent in organizational skills, and she has now the objective to leave her unfulfilling job in 1 year. So by 2022, 2023, let's say, she wants to leave her unfulfilling job at some quick service restaurant or something. Her ambition is to provide single mothers who have to raise their children without their fathers, in her community with a service to help them sell their unused clothing online. Well, Poshmark has taken that market now, but she might have something different to that a different spin. Veronica might be a competitor to Poshmark. Her legacy is to have a group of single mothers capable of funding their entrepreneurial dreams. So let's put all those 4 elements of GOAL together for Veronica. And this is where Famty can help you in putting everything together. So for Veronica, her business mission statement or business go or business the business that she has quoted, you could look at this even sort of like a mission statement. And it says that my organizational skills, this is speaking on behalf of Veronica, will provide me with the resources to leave my unfulfilling job in a year through providing single mothers in my community with a service that helps them to sell their unused clothing online and make an income, thus building a legacy of independent mothers capable of funding their entrepreneurial dreams. So we can see how each element, the gift, the objective, the ambition, the legacy, work together to put together a business idea and some elements of the seed of a mission for that business idea for Veronica. So here we are. We already have identified a business idea that we think can help to transform our family's fortunes and to give our family a purpose and a legacy. We still have to address the issue of the fear of failure. And this is one of the main things that choke a lot of family entrepreneurs. What if I fail? But then, at the other end of the spectrum, we have identified a business, and what if the world needs this business opportunity that you have scouted? So we have to now look at how do we get over the fear. Fear of failure is a critical issue that stifles effort, and it will leave you owing the world, I guess, your business, because we as Messianic believers do believe that all humans have been empowered with a piece of a purpose that God has given to us that only we can do. And the world needs this particular business that Veronica, let's say, if you want to continue that train of thought, that the world needs Veronica's business. Nobody else is going to do that business like she can. And we believe that where we talk about sin is missing the mark. Sin, what Christians call breaking God's rule. We can also look at sin as not completing your purpose. So where we have a fear of failure, we can look at the other side. What if the world needs this? And there's an interesting story that is told about a sniper that was being trained and tasked with a hostage shot. A hostage shot is where a kidnapper uses a hostage as a shield, exposing a small part of the body, normally the kidnapper's head. So the sniper instructor saw the fear on the sniper, asked the sniper, or this trainee sniper, if he had a child, to which the sniper in training said yes. The sniper says, I have a 3-year-old girl, Trudy. Sniper instructor, and then the trainee shows the instructor Trudy's picture. The instructor took the crumpled picture because he's been traveling around with it in training. The picture gets a little bit worn. And the instructor taped the picture of Trudy to the hostage target and told the trainee to imagine that the hostage was Trudy. And of course, the sniper never missed the shot. So when we are faced with don'ts or with fear, we need to present ourselves with a bigger do. What if the world is depending on you to actually execute this business idea? Despite seminal French economist Jean-Baptiste Say's law, that is, demand follows supply, or some people say build it and they will come, we still need to understand the demand for our GOAL business proposal. So business, according to economic theory, business occurs at the intersection of problem and opportunity. Problem speaks to the demand curve that you see in the diagram above, where you see the line D speaks for demand at different levels of price, and the opportunity speaks to supply at different prices that the market will, the good can be supplied at. So the classic demand and supply model that's in this diagram that you're seeing shows this as demand usually represents an unmet need by a customer and supply the pursuit of an opportunity by an entrepreneur. So the POSTT template that we're just touching on right now, it looks at taking your GOAL to the market, starting with assessing the consumer's problem and seeing whether there is a legitimate business opportunity to be supplied. We looked at the ERG assessment, which that can also help here. So the POSTT or the post template goes into problems or passion, your opportunity, what is a genuine opportunity that exists in the market, what strategy you can use to tap into that opportunity, that's the S. The T is your tasks, what are the breakdown of tasks that you need to do in the strategy, so that's more like tactics, going more at the task level, and your timeline for each of the tactics or tasks that you have given yourself. And, and this is provided in a companion course to this one. So we're just making it clear that all you're really looking at here in the goal side is the demand side. And the supply side looks more at an accompanying, the POSTT looks more at the supply side to see what kind of opportunity exists. And we break that down into problem and passion, opportunity, which is the O, your strategy, which is your overall way in which you're going to be tapping into the opportunity, then breaking down that strategy into various tasks, timelines, and this is provided in another course or you can contact us for some more details on that. Congrats for reaching to the end of this FAMT family training course. Now we pray that your family becomes and or remains a strong family unit. If you require more support to tap into these business opportunities using the goal and post method that we introduced you to, please feel free to contact us on our Facebook handle at FamTStrong or by email at connect@famtfamily.com. Why rob God and this world of you and your family? Be strong individuals in strong families, and until next time, be nuclear.